And we're back with more of Cabomil News and Community Update. Today we have Jayson Stirrup, Executive Director of Casa Hogar. And this, of course, is in the wake of the worldwide premiere of Blue Miracle, which is a movie put out by Netflix that talks about and tells the story of the Bisbees in 2014 after the impact of Hurricane Odile, and how the Casa Hogar team actually went to win one of the big prizes. There's been a little bit of positive and negative comments, and everybody has their opinion. But at the end of the day, this puts Casa Hogar and Cabo and the Bisbee Fishing Tournament in the eyes of the world. And we're thrilled to have Jayson here. Jayson, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Claudia, for reaching out.
Yes, wanting to talk about Blue Miracle and what it means for Casa Hogar. Can you tell us, can you share with us the background on how this becomes a movie?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where somebody affiliated with Casa Hogar, with our organization, she knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and what looked like a really long shot came together. And this process started really close to 6 years ago now, wow. Almost immediately after the tournament. And there was some initial interviews that were done here on site with at least one employee to collect what was the original background of the story, or perhaps better said, the full true story from the perspective of Casa Hogar. And I started here at Casa Hogar about a year after the tournament, and of all the areas that I've really attempted to grab by the horns, that was probably the one area where I thought, I'm just going to stay out of this as much as possible. It's not my story to tell, and really just focused on other elements without any insight into if this would materialize or not. And it did. At some point, we had a visit of a camera crew that did some footage here on site early one morning, in particular with the drone camera, and you see that footage at the end of the movie. And at the very end, the production company was able to connect with Netflix, and it became a huge hit, much more than I ever imagined.
I don't think anybody thought it would become such a big thing. And of course, it hits home here in Los Cabos, and I don't think, there must be some people that haven't watched it, but it has been it has had great distribution. There were opening night viewings at different places. And one important one was the one that the Bisbee organization, the Bisbee tournament, organized, and they had people giving donations or committing to donations for Casa Hogar. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I have very, very little information about it. I've been in contact with just two individuals that attended the event. One that told me she was going to attend the event. She's one of our board members. And she had an opportunity to, I believe, address the crowd that was in attendance. And I reminded her of the slogan that this happened in Dallas. So I reminded her of the slogan that everything is bigger in Texas, and to encourage some big donations.
Right.
And then another gentleman who's a captain and a fairly regular visitor to our facility, Luis, reached out to me, and he said that he had been invited by Wayne Bisbee for the opening. And he said that it was an amazing experience, that the theater full of viewers were in tears and extremely moved. Now, you mentioned that not everybody's seen it. I'm one of those individuals. I have not yet seen it. I haven't had a chance. When I climbed into bed last night, my wife was just finishing watching it, and I saw probably about the last 2 minutes and those drone shots. And I'd already seen that, the real life video. I'd already seen those portions, but I haven't seen the movie. I don't think I need to see it because I've heard so much feedback. I've got the whole movie in my mind already. I've read and what I've heard from many people. But
Right.
tomorrow night I'll have a chance to sit down and perhaps watch that with one of my kids.
Well, even though you haven't seen the movie, I'm sure that you've seen the impact that the movie has had for Casa Hogar. And can you tell us about that?
Well, that's one of the things that's keeping me really busy. Our web administrator, Love Alex Hutchinson, he reached out to me yesterday or this morning, I think it was, and he gave me a number that was over 70,000, and he said, guess what this number represents? And I said, well, I hope it represents donation dollars that come into Casa Hogar. Not that we would have that money. I said that in a joking way.
Right.
Now, and he says, no, it's over 70,000 visits to our Casa Hogar website yesterday, Friday.
Wow.
So Friday the 28th. So that is incredible. Our Instagram account has, I believe, 2,000 new followers. One of our board members handles the Instagram account, and she's been asking me quite a lot of questions of what to respond to several different inquiries. I handle the bulk of the Facebook account, and I just can't keep up with all of the inpouring of messages from all over the world in different languages. I'm using Google Translate just to try to get back to everybody that I possibly can. There's an incredible amount of people that have been extremely inspired by the message of the movie, and just really trying to communicate our heart here at Casa Hogar, which is, pay it forward and do something excellent in your local community. So I hope that a lot of people will respond to that challenge. In particular, we've got a lot of messages from Brazil, and just about everybody from Brazil is written in Portuguese. So that's been a lot of fun. But Cayman Islands, South Africa, India, Indonesia, Holland, really just all over the place.
Amazing how something can just touch the heart of so many people all over the world, and how a platform like Netflix makes it possible to really go global overnight, because this happened, as you mentioned, the day after the world premiere of Blue Miracle.
Well, it started on Thursday, and in countries that are a few hours ahead of us or several hours ahead of us, we were receiving early morning messages.
Wow.
Either by email or by Facebook, and I'm sure also by Instagram. So it's really, really cool. And you may remember, Claudia, we had a beautiful visit from Lady Gaga in 2016. And unfortunately, in our community, there was at least some misconception with regards to fundraising, and I heard the feedback, which was, you guys don't need help anymore with donations because Lady Gaga went to Casa Hogar. And while it was a fantastic visit from Lady Gaga, I mean, her and her people, they didn't leave a financial contribution, and that did not take away from the quality of the visit at all. It was a beautiful visit. The kids loved it. We were able to, have a lot of really good PR from that. And that was my concern, over these past several years, thinking about Blue Miracle, the misconception in the community. And I posted that on Facebook. I indicated that, and on our website, that we're not receiving any sort of financial compensation from the production of the film. But as it turns out, Blue Miracle is becoming a green miracle for Casa Hogar, with a lot of donations that have come in. And it's a really timely situation. Normally, Claudia, each February we have a big gala dinner fundraiser and auction, and generally one night, we raised about 70% of our annual budget. We were able to do that last year in 2020, right before the pandemic, but this year we did not do that. And, you know, it's been been a walk of faith with regards to the finances and the budget for this year. Really felt strongly that it was going to work out. I didn't know how. And all of a sudden, this is looking really, really favorable. So there's still a lot of numbers that need to be organized and crunched. But this looks really, really promising, and that it's going to be a big boost for us.
It's wonderful, wonderful that miracles keep happening for Casa Hogar. Started right after Odile hit, and for people who are listening to this and were not in Los Cabos for Odile, the movie does downplay the impact of that hurricane. It was truly devastating, and the fact that Casa Hogar was able to participate in Bisbee, which is of course like the most important fishing tournament in the world with a huge purse, and that then that money came in and really saved the operation of Casa Hogar, was amazing. And what a wonderful thing for it to prompt now this blue miracle that, as you say, is turning into a green miracle. And let's hope that it continues to be so. In that term, can people get involved? How can they donate? Are you gearing up to be able to take all these donations that hopefully will be coming in to help you maintain the operation of Casa Hogar?
Well, so far so good. I suppose if those 70,000 website visits were all in the same time zone, maybe we would have been in trouble. But so far, the website is holding up okay, without any difficulties. And there's several different ways to donate. That is outlined on our website, casahogarcabo.com. And we provide tax-deductible receipts here in Mexico, in the United States, in Canada, and for some international donors that are outside of the continent, we're partnered with an organization that's called Global Giving. So in particular, some people in the UK have been using Global Giving in order to get tax-deductible receipts. But you know, I was looking at one of the channels that we use to offer our donors, and it's called Giving Fuel. The information is on our website. Mm-hmm. The average transaction time is less than 2 minutes, and it's a credit card transaction, and that's available internationally. So that's really positive. Claudia, if you give me just a moment, I want to kind of touch on how, you know, the position or the official position of Casa Hogar with regards to Blue Miracle. I just want to let everybody know this is not a production that was created by Casa Hogar. While we cooperated in the process, you know, we weren't provided the information as to the direction of the story, and we're just really pleased that it's a positive, family-friendly film that you can sit down and watch with your kids. Our kids had an opportunity to watch it this week, and they loved it. The kids from Casa Hogar. I was not able to participate in that, and they're going to very likely be watching it over and over again. And we're just really happy to be, you know, riding the coattails, as we say in English, or along for this ride that is Blue Miracle. And for those that are disappointed with regards to the creative liberties that were taken, you know, I think everybody can understand that. But that's Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And if somebody has a different story, a different angle that they want to present, they can get their production crew together and make their own film. But we're just really pleased that we can feel proud to be associated with what is Blue Miracle, and hopefully continue to inspire some people with the work that we're doing here at Casa Hogar in the lives of our current residents. So
that's wonderful. And thank you for clarifying that. It's important for people to know that the product, the movie that is being shown, is the producers, the writers, the directors vision of an event that is based on something that actually did happen here in Los Cabos at Casa Hogar, but it has nothing to do with the actual opinion or position of Casa Hogar. That's important for the audience to know. And for everybody that is going to be watching this on the Facebook page, Cabomil News Facebook page, we're going to be posting the website for Casa Hogar Cabo so that you can also click on that and go and make a donation so that Casa Hogar can continue to receive miracles and continue to operate successfully under the direction of Jayson, who we are so very thankful to have had in today's show. Thank you, Jayson.
Thank you very much, Claudia. The real miracles have little to do with dollars and pesos and have much more to do with the amazing residents that we have in our care. And the book of miracles of Casa Hogar is a big one. It's a long book. And just for example, this year we've had two really big ones. A teenage boy that was in our care for 6 years to the day. He was reintegrated with his mom and they're living successfully together in San Jose. That happened in January. We flew out the mom last summer. She went through all of her evaluations with DEEF and passed everything with flying colors.
Wow.
They're doing great. And then in March, we had two brothers that had been with us for over 5 years and had been in the system for even longer than that. And they have been reintegrated into their family, their extended family, with their aunt and the aunt's husband. And through that reintegration, they've now reconnected with their grandfather that remembers holding them when they were infants. And all of a sudden, they've got this big, beautiful family, extended family that they didn't know existed. And that brings a huge amount of satisfaction to our team. It's always very sad to say goodbye when we leave, but there's a lot of sweetness in knowing that they're going into a good family situation.
Wow.
So,
wow. Those are the big
lots
miracles.
of good things happening.
That's another movie. We should make another movie based on that.
If there's another movie, I'll never answer my emails. I've got about 750 emails in the past 48 hours.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a good problem to have. Hopefully all those
It's a great
will be
problem.
donations that are coming in for Casa Hogar.
Thank you very much, Claudia.
Thank you, Jayson. Take care.
Los Cabos. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. That was Jayson Stirrup, Executive Director of Casa Hogar. And it looks like it's been a huge success. 70,000 visits to their website overnight almost since the launch of the movie. And hopefully all those people will be willing to help and contribute to the continued operation of Casa Hogar. Like we were mentioning, there were premieres all over the place. Wayne Bisbee organized one in Dallas, and that was amazing. But here in Los Cabos, it was also a big event, and there was a movie night organized by the Los Cabos Rotary Club. And I am super happy to welcome the lovely Linda McHatton, who is, of course, a member of Los Cabos Rotary Club and Director of PR Solutions. Linda, welcome, and thank you for your time.
Oh, on the contrary, thank you so much, Claudia, for having me on. Hello to everyone who's listening, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, Los Cabos Rotary Club organized this premiere night for the movie Blue Miracle. Can you tell us a little bit about how Los Cabos Rotary Club has been involved with Casa Hogar?
For sure. Well, first, we haven't had a fundraiser for over a year and a half, right? And our major fundraiser, as you know, is Las Paellas. Mm-hmm. And well, for obviously reasons, we weren't able to have that. And it doesn't look like it's going to be like in the next 2-3 months. So, you know, everybody's getting antsy. They want to do something. We need to keep supporting the kids that we support through the Rotary Club, that are kids that we help with scholarships and the operations of Smiles, right? Mm-hmm. So what I heard about the premiere of the movie through our friend Cliserio Mercado.
Of
of course, one of the organizers of the Bisbee tournament, right? And I started thinking, what if like on May 27th, we did like an event and nobody really understood what I was talking about. And I said, okay, forget it. Let me like, you know, think about my idea and then bring it to the table. And then I heard about the premiere that Wayne was doing in Texas, and I got an invitation. I was so flattered. And then Ona Ash, as you well know, is also a member. We started chatting, and she told me, you know, Linda, and because I was a little concerned, I'm like, well, you know, we're the Rotary Club. What does the Rotary Club have to do with Casa Hogar? And no, on the contrary, it kind of gave me like a broader picture that some of the major founders and sponsors and supporters for Casa Hogar is Donna Squanders, and they go like way back. Ona Ash also, she even like donated a boat way back when. And Clicerio Mercado, of course, and Clicerio Mercado and Ona are Rotarians. But not only that, Donna is also a Rotarian from the Nevada, from the Nevada Club, I believe. So she also, you know, invited everybody to log online because it was free. So I also had like a little bit of a weird, like, how can I charge something if it's on Netflix and I don't want to get in trouble? So we were really, really, really careful. And also I couldn't invite like 300 people that you're used to, what we're used to fundraising. So we had to keep it very simple and small, and there's no money to invest in a big, you know, venue or event. And of course, Hacienda del Mar, as always, every year, bailed us out. They liked the idea, so they got to offer it to their friends, and they thought it was a good to their clients, their guests. Thank you. So they thought it was a good idea because they said, well, they're going to feature, you know, this is like fundraising. They're featuring Casa Hogar, which also, Hacienda del Mar has also accepted kids that were ready to graduate to do their prácticas.
Yes, to their social service there.
Yes, there's social service there. So it kind of comes together as a community that we all want to support each other. And the more eyes and people supporting the community and bringing people to aware of Los Cabos, and especially Casa Hogar, Jayson has done such an amazing job. So did I kind of answer the question? There's like a lot of different ways that I guess the Rotary Club has had influence, or on the contrary.
Right, has been part of Casa Hogar, and like you mentioned, and I think it's very interesting, or it's kind of like very distinctive of Rotary Club is altruism and being a Rotarian kind of like go hand in hand. So when you ask, well, what has it had to do? Well, it's the spirit of altruism that really has brought people who are Rotarians, and that have been an important part of making Casa Hogar possible. And that's so amazing. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I understand the event was a huge success, right? So the people were there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, even before it began, we like the tickets were 350 pesos. It was a donation, absolutely, right? And the donation was 350 pesos, and we only had like 100 people to fill. It couldn't be more because of obvious reasons. And it was on the beach, and they put our camastros, our sunbeds,
lounges.
Lounges, exactly. And it was super comfortable with our little towel that they rolled up, so it could be like either a pillow. And they had these. The wine was also sponsored by Baja Wines, so it was just like great, you know, and it filled up, but we weren't all, you know, like sardines. We had enough space, and it was on the beach, and then the night was gorgeous. And when the night finished, when the movie finished, you're not gonna believe this, the red moon started coming out, running up, and it was just like really like it was just a perfect night. And I think it was a perfect way to like maybe jumpstart to maybe want to start doing these type of events in smaller, you know, like you could do smaller venues, but at least to get out there and start socializing and start putting some money towards these great causes. Yeah, it was a huge success.
Definitely. I think we are all ready to go back to participating in events and being active in our community and helping out where we can. And we understand that the nature of events is definitely going to change. There will be smaller events, maybe more open air venues, but we're all ready to get back out there and and participate.
yeah.
I think so.
Let me show you. Let me share some information that I just heard today because of the huge success. The Hacienda del Mar are looking to maybe doing some of their 3 major events towards the end of the year. So something to look forward to.
Yes. Are the
Yay,
paellas
I
coming
know.
back? We want the paellas.
Yes, of course they're coming back. And as you said, it's going to be maybe a different scenario, outside. But again, the weather is going to be kinder to us towards the last 3 months of the year. So yeah, it's looking very promising. Let's say that. Yeah.
Good. We want it to be promising, and
Yes.
we're ready to just, we want to see the social life and the social calendar that we were used to having here in Los Cabos. I think it's something that will be very good.
Something else, when I was a little concerned about calling up sponsors and stuff, and I said, nobody has money right now. The companies have been like, barely trying to pay their employees, not create social problems. And they were like, yes, Linda, how many, this is what we can do. And they've been jumped on it immediately, even like the luz y sonido, the projectors, everybody's just like, yes, what can we do? Not looking to make a buck, understanding the situation completely. So I also think that a lot of us the sense of community really comes together. Like there's the one who could write the check. There's one who could say, well, this is what I can do. And you can see all these talents come together. And that's like, that really makes you feel really good about living here in Los Cabos. And
Yes.
being in the community.
That's a sign of, I think that's something that defines our community in Los Cabos and in Baja California Sur. And
totally.
Everybody contributes whichever they can contribute, whether it's their presence, their work, with money, or whatever you can do, you're there and you support. And that's really great. Now, did you see the movie? Did you watch the movie?
Yes,
did you like it?
Yes, I did. I'm going to be probably one of the ones who are like the most positive, probably because it was such a success, the evening and the night. I mean, you can't beat where we were at. I obviously it's as you would say in Spanish, it's Hollywoodense, even if it's not Hollywood, but it's fantasy with a little bit here and there, and you feel like, oh my God, there's Cabo San Lucas. That's the Marina of San Jose, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. They're trying to do, it didn't matter. I mean, I really thought that the cast did okay. There weren't like super great actors or anything. I'm sure that maybe they could have done better with some of the interpretations, but overall, the message was like really sweet. It was nice. It's a family. I liked it, Claudia. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, really.
No, and it's good. I mean, there's and I looked at it with very critical eyes. So
maybe that must have been that.
I was like,
because
wait a minute, it's not so tropical in Cabo, but I get it. They filmed where they decided to film. It's fine. Maybe a lot of us would have liked them to film in Cabo, but I'm just glad that the movie's out there and that it's turning the eyes to that sense of community that defines Cabo.
Exactly. And not only that, I'm like, okay, these people obviously don't know anything about fishing. They could have done like a little better research. I mean, I even know the basics, right? Well, of course.
So I
was just thinking, well, they could have done a little better with that. But overall, since that morning, I woke up and it was like with Ryan and Kelly, and then there was like On The View. So every network and every TV show in the United States was watching it, and they were showcasing Los Cabos, right? Showcasing Casa Hogar and the Bisbees. I mean, what else do we want? I mean,
job well done. Job well done.
And I know here, maybe a documentary down the line would be better.
Yeah. But overall, I think it's a great effort, and it's great for Los Cabos, and like you say, Casa Hogar and Bisbee. I know you're very close. Well, you were super close to Mr. Bisbee, and you're very close to Wayne. Have you had a chance to hear from him and know what his opinion is, and how does he feel about it?
Not directly. So this is chisme, but apparently at the beginning they had some issues with some of the interpretations, that maybe two things in the whole movie is true. I mean, again, if you're going to see it with super critical, and I guess I would too if I was Wayne, you know, or Bob Jr. Yeah, I'd be like, oh, this is not true at all. And you know, they could have mentioned maybe Liserio or his role in the movie, but again, it's a movie, it's fantasy, and they used Los Cabos, so that's good.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think, as you say, overall, it will be a very positive impact and very positive promotion for Los Cabos and sports fishing, and hopefully it will help the Bisbee continue to grow, because it's such an amazing tournament, and they do so much for the community. I think that everybody should be happy of this movie.
Everybody benefits when the Bisbee happens. Everybody benefits. I mean, since the vendors on the street, you know, you know,
everybody,
the nightclubs, the gentlemen's nightclubs, everybody benefits. And this is good because everybody has money to take home, pay their bills, go to a restaurant, pay, you know, the waiters. It's just good. It's good business.
It is. Yeah. We like it. And I mean, historically, it marks the beginning of the high season. So, for sure, you know, we're all looking forward to the next edition.
Yeah. We're sick of this long summer, no money for 3 months, you know, way back like 20, 30 years ago, like the summers were like so long, no business. And finally you see all these like high rollers coming into town with their big watches, and you're just like, oh, yay, thank you.
They're back.
They're back. I know.
Definitely people will continue to come back to Los Cabos, and we're hoping that this movie will help that. So,
oh, I'm for sure. And I'm also sure that Casa Hogar will, you know, profit from this for sure. Just creating awareness. That's how it gets started, you know,
exactly.
Keep the eyes there, and the work that they do just speaks for itself. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. That I'm sure that they'll see some huge benefits for the rest of this year coming in for them for sure.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time, Linda, and for your input and all the energy that you always put into everything that you do. Great having you.
Thank you. Well, you know me, I love Cabo, I love the Bisbees, I love the family, you know, so it's all good. And fundraisers, I guess, like, you know, I wish I could just do that, but you know, I have dogs I need to feed.
Right. Well, we'll be sure to keep in touch and find out everything that's happening. Let us know when the paellas are coming back, because that's I need to go into my calendar and everybody's calendars.
And maybe November, from what I could maybe perceive, is on the wine and cheese in November sometime.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. That's another great event.
Fabulous. So let's keep our fingers crossed that everybody keeps working on their health and being good, and you know, all that good stuff.
We will all behave so that we can go back to have fun.
Exactly.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you, Linda McHatton, member of Rotary Club Los Cabos and director of PR Solutions, and her opinions about Blue Miracle and all things Los Cabos. Thank you, Linda. And that is all the time that I have for you on this edition of Cabomil News and Community Update. Make sure you tune in next week for another show where Corey Riggs will be back. And until then, have a great week, and make sure that you listen to all the programs here in 96.3 FM Cabomil. Catch you next time.